I would like to welcome you. Hello. With everything that's happening in the world right now, I so appreciate your presence right here. I'm Reverend Cassandra Rae, spiritual director of the Center for Spiritual Living White Rock, and we're an inclusive learning center of practical spirituality based in the Vancouver, the greater Metro Vancouver, Lower Mainland area in British Columbia, Canada. And this is a place for your whole heart, your whole being. May you find refuge here. May you discover spiritual truths that inspire and empower you. And may we all join together in co-creating a world that works for all. So as we begin here today, I would like to respectfully acknowledge that I live and work on the traditional and unceded territory of the Coast Salish First Nations, including Kwikwetlem, Tsleil-Waututh, and Stalo nations. So now let us ground our time together in truth and spirit. I invite you to turn within and to let yourself settle into this ever-present now moment. The unfoldment of spirit itself is happening right now through everyone and everything. And so I remember that there is an eternal flow of love and power, of clarity and peace. That this energy, this life, this consciousness, that it lives in back of all life because it is the source of all life. And so I recognize that it is my source. That spirit is who and what I am, and all that it is, I am. I have access to. It is flowing to me and through me as me. It is from this place of divine union, divine connection, divine oneness that I claim, affirm, and know that this time is blessed by the divine. It is an experience that uplifts and empowers each one of us. There is something that is said or sung that is exactly what each one of us needs to hear right now. I know that spirit within each one of us is ready to be known at a deeper and more profound level. That what is ready to be healed is healed. And with such gratitude, I celebrate this technology that brings us together safely, connecting us heart to heart, mind to mind, and that we get to have this experience gathered together virtually from around the world. I give great thanks for each and every heart that is present here today, each and every gift that is given, each and every one. I bless, knowing the best is yet to come. I release these words into that divine law of mind, knowing it is already done in that one mind. And so I simply let go of everything else, and I step into its perfect unfoldment right here and now, letting it be. And so it is. Yes. Well, our live music today is the wonderful and talented Ranj Singh. The richness of his vocals and the warm depth of his message always open the heart. Ranj makes music with a distinct Indian Western flair that draws on his love for rock music and heartfelt lyrics. Love that combination. He refers to his unique blend of music as Indo-Canadian folk. I refer to it as amazing. So please join me in welcoming Ranj Singh.
Thank you, Cassandra. This one will be just Canadian folk, if that's okay. Heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to her kitchen chair, she broke your throne and cut your hair, and from your lips she drew hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Baby, I've been here before, seen this room, I've walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew you, and I saw your flag on the marble arch. Our love is not a victory march, it's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love is how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. Well, it's not a cry that you hear at night, it's not someone who's seen the light, it's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Oh, Ranj,
Thank you.
you're beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. My heart is just bursting today. How about yours? I mean, the music, the meditation, just the light, and just being here together is just like filling me up. And this is perfect because today we are going to bless-itate. That's right. You heard me correctly. It's a made up word, bless-itate. What is that? And I'm so glad that you asked because one of my colleagues, Reverend Jones, he's a CSL ordained minister and founder of Soul Gym. And here's what he says: every new journey we choose to embark on is filled with excitement and anticipation. And there may also be feelings of hesitation. This paradoxical state could be called a bless-itation, a combination of blessings and hesitation. Hmm. Do you recognize that mix of excitement and hesitation, where part of you wants to move forward and another part of you wants to run and hide? Yeah, me too. And you might have even felt it more here on Sundays this month, because we've been stepping into the unknown. We've been taking the path less traveled and stirring up those winds of change, all in service of the seeds of purpose planted in your soul. And remember that inside a seed is the wisdom and instinct to grow to its full potential. The seeds of purpose in you know your highest path, and they are sending you information all the time. So we must pay attention to what resonates. We must stay curious and follow the energy. Then, by realizing that we're immersed in spirit, a new power rises up. And we use our ideas and faith to create a mold for spirit to take form as our desired intentions. And now, this week, we continue our journey of purpose and power. And Reverend Darrell says, as we travel along, we discover the blessings and our hesitations on our new path. Additionally, we have the opportunity to recognize the power of blessing whatever is before us and or triggering us, greeting it with curiosity. So what gifts are discovered during moments of bless-itation? I love this because it normalizes the fear and provides us with a way through it. You know, I want you to know that if on your journey you find yourself stuck in doubt or fear, worry, concern, uncertainty, know that that's part of the process of growing your purpose. Remember those seeds of purpose that are planted in within you? Well, as they grow you. Your purpose in you grows you so that it can flourish in the world. And so it's easy to understand the hesitation. The hesitation actually is not the problem. The unwillingness to move into the hesitation is the problem. And this is where bless-itation is here to help. Now, you know, I like to start in the dictionary. I don't want any of us to get tripped up on words, especially religious words, such as blessing. And more often than not, you know, here at CSL White Rock, we kind of have our own definition of things, and it's maybe not what you grew up with or what you're used to. And so this is why I say we are a progressive learning center of practical spirituality. So in the Science of Mind glossary, Ernest Holmes defines a blessing as constructive thought directed toward anyone or any condition. You bless a person when you recognize the divinity in them. And you bless a person's business when you think correctly about that business. So, just a little note here in quoting that definition, I've updated the language to be gender inclusive. I changed man to person and him to them so that we can recognize even in our words that definition applies to all of us. And so a blessing is a constructive thought directed toward anyone or any condition. So when we bless, we're building up, not tearing down. We're seeing the divinity in each other. We're thinking correctly about conditions, namely, that each and every one of us has the power to change conditions by creating a mold with your ideas, focus, and faith. That spirit then fills up and brings into your experience. So if we take all of this back to Bless-itation, we see that Reverend Darrell is encouraging us to bless-itate instead of hesitate. So while you're on your journey of growing into your divine purpose, if you run into hesitation, please don't beat yourself up. Just ask you that again. Please don't beat yourself up. Instead, choose to bless what is before you and even what is upsetting you. So, what is the most constructive thought you can direct toward yourself, toward others, and toward the condition? I'm asking each one of you to make a commitment to bless-itate this week. And I want to just give it to you in as a very easy way to remember. I like when you can take something that we talk about on Sundays and actually practice it in your life so that it makes a difference in how you're experiencing yourself in the world. So one, it just starts out with just notice. Notice when you're hesitating or worried or upset or fearful. Yeah, I mean, it can look like doubt, uncertainty, fear, concern. It's an opportunity to build yourself up. It's normal for these things to come up for humans, and we are all human. So it's okay when these things happen. Just start by noticing. That's one. And number two, then, is to release any judgment, blame, shame, or expectations you have around it. Like, what are you willing to release? Number three, embrace yourself where you're at, because it's actually the only place you can be, right where you're at. And number four, bless. Bless it. Bless yourself, bless others. What is the most constructive thought you can direct toward yourself, others, and the condition? We're going to go over this a few times during today's talk. If you didn't catch that right away, it's okay, because I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it multiple times today. So when I first moved to Portland, Oregon, I got a job as a case manager at a residential treatment facility for teenage boys. And the facility was like a last chance for many of these teens. Often they were placed there as an alternative to incarceration. And this was my first job after grad school, and I was totally overwhelmed. I did not have the guidance and support I needed at the time to really know what I was doing and successfully how to help these kids. And in short, I was terrified. I was terrified. So I wrote out some affirmations I found in this thing called You. This is our book of the month this month, This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes. And I would recite them as I drove to and from work. And they remain some of my all-time favorite affirmations. And they are very constructive thoughts that you too might find helpful. So I'm going to read them for you slowly now, and you can even like repeat them after me. I'm going to say them and then I'm going to stop so that you can repeat them after me. And if any of you have this book and you want to refer to them later, I'm on page 38. Page 38. So repeat after me, either in your mind or out loud. I am always equal to any task set before me. I am confident of my ability to meet every situation. I can solve every problem, overcome every difficulty. Realizing that spirit knows no obstruction. I have implicit confidence in its ability to operate through me always and under every situation. Yeah. How might your life and journey change if you were to believe the statements I just read aloud? Ernest Holmes, he also says in this thing called You, the answers to your problems lie not in God's willingness, but in your ability to believe. Certain statements repeated over and over help you to believe. Gradually, these statements sink into consciousness, changing your mental reactions from negative to positive. They can change your hesitations into bless-itations. And in fact, you can use your hesitations to bolster your beliefs. Yes, you can. How? Notice your hesitations. Release judgment. Embrace yourself and bless. And remember that blessing means constructively thinking so that you are building it up. Notice, release, embrace, and bless. That is the four, even almost like the four breaths, right? You can do this in 4 breaths. Notice, release, embrace, and bless. So this is a heart opening practice. You must open your heart to new possibility. It is safe to start over. You must open your heart to yourself. You are worthy of love, compassion, acceptance, and belonging. Open your heart to the divine. You are loved, guided, and protected. The infinite intelligence of the universe wants to know itself as you and through your purpose. And the love is amplified. Amplified. Ernest Holmes says in The Science of Mind that our heart is a living center through which the love of God flows to bless eternally, not only our own lives, but the lives of all whom we contact. The love of spirit is flowing to bless you. This means that infinite intelligence is thinking constructively about you. Divine love wants to build you up, and your purpose wants to grow you. Not because you aren't enough, but because you living your purpose blesses everyone in your life. Your purpose isn't meant just for you. It's meant for everyone you come into contact with. Your purpose is meant for the greater good of your family, your community, your work, and even the world. Infinite intelligence doesn't think small. In this mold that we make out of our ideas and focus, there is no mold too big for God. God is like, bring it. You bring the big mold, I will fill it up. You bring the small mold, I will fill it up. There is no small or big in God. And thankfully, because there are some really big tasks set before us right now. Some that come to mind are equality, inclusion, income parity, access to quality health care, safety, climate change, this pandemic, but then so more. Like these are huge tasks set before us. And now is the time to think constructively, not only for yourself, but about the problems we face collectively. You see, the same process holds true on an individual level and a collective level. Focus on what you want the province to experience, the nation to experience, or even what you want the world to experience. Allow what's happening in the world to open your heart to new possibilities for the collective. You see, each one of us can contribute to creating a mold for the world that works for all of us. And realizing that spirit knows no obstruction, meaning there are no barriers in spirit, you can have confidence in its ability to operate through you and through all of us. You see, a new consciousness is being born. And just like there are seeds of purpose planted in you as an individual, there are seeds of purpose planted in humanity. And those seeds know there is a wisdom that exists right now that knows how to make a safe, functioning world for all of us. And we get to live into that. We get to be part of that. So bless-itate, my friends. Bless-itate for yourself, for others, for the world. Because what if every hesitation was there for you to uncover a hidden blessing? Notice, release, embrace, and bless. This is how we tend to those seeds of purpose in the garden of our souls. We need to get in the garden, weed, water, and watch as your constructive thinking grows into the beauty and bounty of your soul and for our collective soul. What if we are entering a whole new reality? And that reality blessed everyone, everyone, not just a few. And let me tell you, friends, we are here so that that reality can come through our very own thinking, our very own hearts. As an extra credit assignment for this week, because you know I like to practice, you can watch the news and bless-itate on the news. The news is an excellent way to see what our collective hearts are yearning for. You can notice, release, embrace, and bless. Think constructively. This is how the world changes. It's from individuals just like you, just like me, coming together to bless-itate. And so it is. So I invite you to turn within in this moment. Just taking a breath and being with all of it, being with everything that is happening right now, individually and collectively, and taking a breath and recognizing that the divine is right here, holding each one of us, that there is unconditional love and deep wisdom that is holding each one of us through all of this. Through any pain you might feel, through any loss you might feel, through any fear you might feel, the divine is right here, loving, guiding, showing us. And so in this moment, I recognize my oneness with the divine. I recognize that there is an infinite power of creativity that is flowing to me. And I use that power to claim, affirm, and know that each one present to my voice right now is empowered by divine love, guided by divine intelligence, and is gifted with belonging and safety and love, purpose and power. This is the birthright of each one here. And so I bless each one here, thinking constructively about each one here. I know that each one of us has the power to make a difference right here today in our own lives, in the lives of others. I recognize that there is nothing that can't be created because the universe says yes to our constructive thinking. And so I too say yes to a world that works for all. I say yes to Black and Brown folks being safe, celebrated, supported. I say yes to a world that is thriving and nourished, a connection to the land, to the dirt, to the water in the mountains. I say yes to an equality that provides opportunity for each and every one of us, knowing that humans, by our very nature, want to create, contribute, collaborate, that there is nothing we can't do. And so I am filled with gratitude and hope for what is to come. I know that collectively we make a difference. And so, in this new reality that is on its way now, that has already happened in the mind of God, I simply step forward with curiosity, knowing that it unfolds in, through, and as me and each one of us here. I let it be, and so it is.